everyone, so today on my channel we are discussing key pieces that can help you transition from the winter to spring. And a lot of these pieces that I'm going to mention in this video, most of us already have them in our wardrobes, so what I'm going to do in this video is to show you how you would normally wear them in the winter and then how to wear them in the spring. So if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Odette and I do weekly fashion and lifestyle videos for the working girl, and we talk everything from low end, so that's your Topshop, Zara, H&M, all the way to luxury goods. So if that's something that you might be interested in, then definitely consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you know every single time that I upload. So in this video I have 10 different categories to share with you, and in each category there might be different variations just to accommodate different people's style, and the purpose of that is just to allow a bit of versatility, just because not everyone might like the same thing. When you think about transitional pieces, you have to think about items that you can wear in both seasons, and to help with that you have to think about items that you can easily layer on each other. So the first category I have to share with you is knitwear. This, I think, is kind of a given. Every time I see winter spring transitional pieces, you always see knitwear. You can't think about going from the colder months to the warmer months, or from the warmer months to the colder months, without discussing knitwear. And when I talk about knitwear, there are variations. So let's start with the jumpers. So when we look at jumpers, there are really two types of jumpers that you would have. You'd either have something that's really thin, which is like the one I'm wearing. You can see it's very thin jumper, it's a very light jumper. Or you'd have something like a chunky knitwear, which is something like this. This is chunky, and you can find even chunkier than this. So when I start thinking about transitioning to the warmer months, now that spring is coming up, sometimes it's a little bit chilly. I could probably get away with wearing this and wearing a coat, or wearing this one and wearing a bit of a lighter coat rather than something thick. So that's how I would transition it between one season to another. So yesterday I believe was 15 degrees. I wore this jumper on its own and just a scarf. I didn't have to add anything on top because it's cold, but it's not cold enough to warrant me to put too many layers on top. That's the great thing about knitwear, is that it still keeps you warm, but you can play around with how warm you want to be depending on the weather. And in the cutaway here, I'm showing you one that I tried on. This is current season. I tried it on in Otherstories, and I absolutely love this knitwear. I didn't purchase it because it's quite expensive. It's like 95 pounds, and I was just like, ugh. But it's really good. It's very soft, it's very comfortable. I can definitely wear this out even today, because I think today is about 12 degrees, so I can definitely wear this out on its own without needing any jacket or anything today, because it's long sleeves and it's turtleneck, so it covers me all over, which is perfect to wear. Another thing to keep in mind is a jumper dress. So I have this one from Aleme, and I bought it from, I think, matches.com. I wore this to Prague, and Prague is actually very cold. I wore this to Prague on Valentine's weekend, or the weekend before Valentine's Day, and this was absolutely great. I was extremely warm in this. The only thing I had to add on was like a scarf or a thick coat and some boots, but this was perfectly fine. So that is how I wore it during the winter months. As spring is coming, I would wear this on its own and probably just pair it with a boots. If I really have to wear something on top of it, I can pair it with a blazer or with a lighter coat like a trench coat or something, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So that's a good way in which you can wear it between both months. Hopefully that makes sense to you as I'm explaining it. Again, another great transitional piece. There's so many knitted dresses in a lot of the high street stores. I have a yellow one here that I tried out from Zara. Perfect. The length is perfect because it's midi length, so I don't have to worry about my legs being exposed, and I can pair it with boots if I wanted to cover up the rest of my legs. So that's pretty easy. Obviously, I think the one I was sharing with you is short sleeve, so you can wear it with a blazer, a sweater, or even a light trench coat, and you're good to go for the season. Jumper dress or knitted dress is definitely something worth thinking about. The next category that I have to share with you are coats. You can't talk about spring without talking about trench coat, and I have the perfect trench coat. So this one, it's a trench coat style, but it doesn't have the trench coat fabric. When you think about trench coat, you think about cotton fabric rather than wool blend or cashmere. This jacket that I'm sharing with you here, I picked it up from Maxmara a couple of years ago from Bicester Village at a good price, and this is a perfect example for me for a transitional piece. It is very light, but it's also very warm. During the colder months, I would pair it with something that's already very thick, so something like this, and when it comes to spring, I would always wear it with something very light. And next transitional piece, still within this coat category, is a next type of coat that you can definitely transition with. is a cape coat. I have one that I picked up from Otherstories a couple of years ago, I think maybe about 3 years ago, and I absolutely love this cape coat. I've actually started wearing it even though it's winter, but I'm layering up inside when I wear it. A cape coat is something that provides you a bit of warmth, but it also has a lot of gaps in a lot of places. And you have different types of coats. Some of them, your arms are completely exposed, so that's the one that just has the cape, and then maybe your arm is just on the it's not really inside. I'll show you a picture of what I mean, but you just have the cape and your arms can be completely exposed. But you also have other ones like this one that I have, that I bought from Otherstories, where your hands go through, but it stops somewhere. How long is it actually? How long is that cape coat? I think it goes up to about here, but there's a lot of space, so you can get a lot of breeze coming through. A cape coat is definitely a perfect transitional piece, because during the winter months I would layer up a lot just to keep myself warm, and during the spring months I would just wear it with something very light, and that cape coat is just providing an additional warmth if I need it. The next category that I have to share with you is jackets. And when I say jackets, I'm actually thinking about blazers. Blazers are something that you can wear year round. There is no season to wear blazers. If it's very cold during the winter months, you wear your blazer and you put on a thick coat on top and you're sorted. And during the spring months, you can actually wear this as is. If you needed to add an additional layer, you can wear a trench coat over it. But still, this is a typical layering piece, a very good layering piece at that. I wore this a couple of days ago to work, and I paired it with like a black not a jumper, but like a black shirt inside, and then I had this on top, and then I had the cape coat on top of this. So that provided me with the extra warmth that I needed, and I thought that was great. But as the spring is approaching and as it gets warmer, I can see myself just wearing this jumper, for example, and this just on its own, and I don't need to add anything on top, because this provides me with the extra warmth that I'm looking for. Boots, very much a transitional piece, especially from a warmer to colder month to colder to warmer month. So during the winter months, I would typically wear an over the knee boots over leggings or jeans, or sometimes very thick tights. That provides that extra warmth if I really needed to, because sometimes just wearing a jean on its own, it's not enough. I need an extra layer on my feet to keep it warm, depending on how cold it is. And the same is true for knee-high boots and my ankle boots. During the winter, it depends on how cold it is, but I can move between these 3 types of styles. Also, if I'm wearing a skirt, I can wear these boots underneath it, especially over the knee boots and knee-high boots. I tend to wear them a lot over midi skirts and midi dresses. Jeans are a great way to transition to the spring. During the colder months, a lot of times you can wear light blue or dark blue denim, but denim is, for some people, is part of their staple order. You can wear jeans with trainers, you can wear them with boots. When it gets really cold, if I was to wear a jean, I can sometimes wear tights underneath my jeans. Obviously, there has to be a bit of room in the jeans to allow me to be able to do that, but typically, if it gets really cold, I can do that. But for the spring months, you can wear jeans on their own. The thing that I love about jeans as well is that the light blue jeans in particular works well for spring, summertime because of the brighter colors. It looks great as well during the winter months because it's a pair of jeans and it's almost like a wardrobe staple for a lot of people. So it's not crazy to see light blue jeans in the colder months. A lot of times when you think about the colder months, you think about wearing dark colors, but a light blue jean is an easy pass for the colder months because, like I mentioned, it's a staple for some people. So the 6th category that I wanted to talk about are florals. Whenever we think about flowers coming into bloom, it's obviously spring. That's what spring signifies. But what we've also seen over the past couple of years is that a lot of people wear florals during the colder months, but a lot of these florals tend to be dark florals. So you tend to have autumn-like colors. So I'm talking about your dark reds, dark blues, a lot of the dark colors. If you already have like a floral piece, whether that's dark or lighter color, it's something that you could easily wear during the warmer months. And I have an example of this one. I think I bought about 2 years ago from Zara, and this is something that I wear during the winter months. It's more on the brighter side, but it also works for the winter, especially when I pair with dark blue jeans. It kind of darkens it a little bit, but for the spring months, this is great if you want to pair it with a white pair of trousers. It has all the right colors and it's very much in season. But as I mentioned, if you have the darker colors, that's still fine, because whenever people think about spring, they always think about flowers. So whether that's the darker flowers or the lighter flowers, it would go regardless. The 7th category that I want to talk about are bright colors. A lot of times when you think about bright colors, you think about summer, springtime, because it's just a very colorful season. But what we have seen over the past couple of years is that colors is becoming a trend. I don't want to say neutrals is gone, because I don't really think neutrals can ever go out of trend, but we've definitely seen more and more colors coming into style. So if you have a jumper, and I'm going to bring back the jumper that I tried on from Otherstories, that's a pretty lavender color, and if I'm not mistaken, the color of this year is meant to be purple, so that's more lavender, but that's still in the purple color spectrum, I believe. So if you had something like that and you wore that for the colder months because it's very warm, you can also wear that during spring, because whilst it's a jumper and it's very thick, it also embodies lighter color. So if someone sees you with it, immediately they start thinking about spring because it's bright. If you have any of your pastels, your blues, your whites, your light greens, all of those kind of colors, if you have any of those that you already own, you can definitely wear it regardless of what it is. So that could be a jumper, a top, a dress, whatever it is. If you wear that in springtime, it already shows that you're in season. Next thing I want to talk about are slip dresses and slip skirts. I love these as transitional pieces because you can easily layer them up or layer them down. When I say layer them down, I mean wear them as is without doing too much to it. With slip dresses, when it's really cold, you can wear the jumper on top of it and it really just looks like a top and a skirt. You can pair it with shirts, you can pair jumpers underneath it or shirts underneath it to provide that warmth before you wear your coats or your jackets. So when spring comes, you can wear them as is, and instead of layering a bunch of things on top of it, you could just wear it with a blazer or with a jacket. That way it provides the warmth that you need without it being too hot. And I love pairing them with boots, especially ankle boots. I think these midi length slip skirts and dresses look amazing with boots, and you're good to go for the spring month. So it's still the same piece of clothing items, but what you style it with has changed drastically, and I think those are the kind of things that you have to think about when you're switching between seasons, is taking out those different layers that you had to add on in order for it to work for the cold months. So the ninth item that I wanted to share with you guys was a scarf. So this scarf, I have it from Gucci, still has a tag on. I still haven't worn it. Yeah, I have to wear it. But during the colder months, again, you know, you have to have a scarf. I have a range of scarf. I have very thick scarves and I have very light scarf. This one is on the lighter side. It's not extremely light because I do have lighter ones than this, but it's on the light side, but it also has a bit of, I want to say, size to it. So it's quite long. That's the length. During the winter months, you can kind of go 3 rounds if it's very cold. Is it 3? No, you can go 2 rounds. If it's very cold and you have a coat on top and your chest is protected, especially with the jumper dress that I showed you, something like that, my chest was exposed on that one, I could just add this on top and a coat and I'm fine. That's actually how I wore it in Prague. I had not this one, but a different scarf on top of it. But for the spring months, you can use this because it's light enough, and depending on how warm it gets, you might just get away with just wearing this over like that. So I could probably go out with, say, this light one, and I just put this on top to just add that additional layer if it starts getting chilly. It's not a must, but it's something that you can do. This is great because it can still add an extra warmth if you wanted to wear something light, or if you had even a camisole top and a blazer, your chest is a little bit exposed, you can wear a scarf just to cover you up a little bit, and you still have that warmth that you need without necessarily being overheated. So that's why I think scarves are great transitional pieces, especially if it's a thin scarf. Final item that I feel like it's a great transitional piece is a hat. People love wearing hats. Definitely during the colder months, we love hats, especially wool hats like this one. But also during the spring, there's so many styles that you can style with a hat. This one, I think this one can just about fit my head because my extensions are on my head and it's too big. But during the spring months, I could definitely see myself wearing this jumper with a nice pair of jeans and then just this scarf and a nice bag. I don't need anything else because I look nice, still looks great. Granted, all my outfit is dark, but if you have lighter hats, for example, that's probably going to be a better choice for you if you want it. I have a picture I'm going to insert where I'm wearing brown and blue, and the hat that I have on is a brown hat as well, and I really love that look. It's really pretty. Hats are something that you can wear during the colder months to keep your head warm if that was something that you were worried about. And when it gets to spring, definitely hats work for spring. They're very stylish, but they also protect your head from the cold, so I think it's fantastic to have them. So that's it for my video. I hope you've really enjoyed the video. I tried as much as possible to put as many things as I can inside, and I tried for this not only to be me telling you what to transition, but also tell you how you can transition a different piece of item. So I really do hope you appreciated that. If you did, then go ahead and give us a like, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, you've watched this point, then you enjoyed the video, so go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you know know every single time I upload. If you want to see how I will be transitioning from the winter to the spring months, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, because that's where I post a lot of fashion related content, styling content, and a lot of these items that you see me have here, I would post them on there whenever I wear them out. So definitely give me a follow on Instagram, because that's the quickest way to get up to date with what's going on. Also in the comment section, let me know what key transitional piece you already have in your wardrobe and what you plan to buy. Personally, there's really not much I plan to add to my wardrobe, because I already have most of these pieces that I shared with you. If I'm adding something to my wardrobe, it would probably be that lavender jumper from Otherstories, because I really love that jumper. I have been thinking about that non-stop. I've been stalking the website, because at the moment Otherstories is doing a couple of sales, so I've been trying to see whether they're going to put that in the sales, but it hasn't happened just yet. I will keep looking at it and also be on the lookout for discount codes just in case one pops up through one of their influencers or something like that. So definitely let me know if there are any items here that you already have in your wardrobe, and if there are any items you plan to buy after watching this video. Go ahead and sound off in the comment section. Let's have a chat. So thank you so much for watching to this point, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.